So today we are shooting for Lexan windows. Obviously, I already have one done. I did get kind of carried away last night. I stayed here pretty late and just started thrashing. I do have kind of a deadline for this thing. I'm most likely not going to meet the deadline, which is in like a little over a month. I still need a full wiring harness and pretty much all the fuel stuff, which fuel tech is very expensive. So let's get in to today's video with the Lexan windows. All right, so I did do this one last night. I just did 4 little mounting points here. Now, this isn't actual like Lexan. This is just some stuff from Lowe's, which unfortunately does crack. So you got to be extremely careful with how tight you get this, which it will benefit you in the long run to get screws, or if you rivet it, that's fine too, but I think a rivet might be too tight too, it might crack it. But if you get screws that have a flat back on the head there, that really will benefit you, because if it's beveled, it'll want to puncture it, almost like as if you were going to screw with a drill bit or something. I mean, I don't know, it just makes sense to me that way. I just configured that. I assumed that would be better and more beneficial. So I just need to add a couple more mounting points on here. Probably add 5 or 6 more on that side. And then on this side, I already went ahead, pulled the glass out. Well, obviously I pulled the glass out of both of them at the same time, but I went ahead and took the wire wheel and went across here and cleaned all this up, taped it off, painted it. It is technically ready to go. It is all dried up. So I do have the other glass cut out already. So I'm going to just fine tune it with the grinder. I know some people use they'll use a skill saw and cut it up, and the skill saw doesn't really melt it. It actually just cuts it a lot better, or a reciprocating saw, or not a reciprocating saw, a Sawzall. And I used one of these oscillating tools. This actually works pretty good. It does kind of like, I don't know, here actually I can show you on this because I haven't cleaned it up. It does fray it like this, but the frays, I mean, that's what it's melting it. That's what it's doing. All of it's going to melt it. But if you use a Sawzall, it's a lot better than anything else that from what I've seen. So this stuff here is called, that's this, Optics. You know, glass says it's stronger than glass. That's cool. Non-yellowing is what I was really wanting, because not that this car is going to sit out in the sun very much, but I don't want it to yellow. I don't want it to haze. I want it to stay clean, just like this. This looks super clean. Yes, it's probably most likely 100% going to get sticker bombed, or not sticker bombed, but a bunch of stickers all over it, as well as this side too. So what I've been doing is I cut it out with cardboard template. I just took the glass out, took the factory glass out, set it on a piece of cardboard, and then I pressed down on the glass very gently without too much weight, kind of something to just kind of flatten it out just a little bit. That way, when I ran my Sharpie around it, it would actually put the Sharpie mark on the inside, or I mean technically on the outside, and then you would cut on the outside of your mark too. That way you have a little bit of shaving and finessing to do, so that you can get the Lexan in there as tight as you can. Now, I was told maybe to put some backer rod or something behind here to help with when the back half of the car rattles and this screw rattles in there, that it doesn't want to crack away around each mounting point, which I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do that today because I really just want to get these in the car and not functional, I guess, just get them in the damn car. And then later on, I will go through, pull them back out, get some backer rod in there, and seal it back up. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the other side, make sure it's where I want it, make sure I'm happy with it. And then we'll come back here and we'll put it up there and I'll hold it in place. I'll probably put 2 mounting points on it and then mark it from the inside so that I can get the black trim or whatever that goes around to paint on here. So let's go ahead and get that mocked up there. All right, so I did not peel either side off. I did not finesse this perfect just yet. Goes like so. So with this being said, it's gonna be hard. I had a buddy here last night help me hold this stuff up while I kind of mocked it, but I want to get this here as far back and up as I can, which right there looks like it's going to be the best spot. And do not ask why I'm using this 90. It is simply because I burnt up my drill bit last night. So you want to go slow. Put a mark there. Kind of just, I painted the car, or I painted the inside of the window trim or whatever inside the frame, so that when I just did that, it left a little scuff on the paint so that I know where to drill my hole. Just make sure you're where you want to be all the way around before you start fully getting too buck wild with it, because then you might not like one of the spots that you put a hole. So after every hole every new hole I make, I reline it up just to be 100% certain that's where this guy's gonna land. Then I'm gonna do one kind of right here in the middle. Okay, so we'll set this aside. Drop my bit. So, looks like I got one here. Didn't even go all the way through, bro. Okay. Put one up here. And then I put one over here. All right, so now, you can, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, get out a few screws, take your window, set it up in here where you want it. And if you've got to re-drill a hole or you got to do something, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to be seen. Your other holes won't be seen because you are going to be painting the trim here. So it's not, I mean, if you're super picky, then yes, I guess so, but. Like I said, you want to be very, very gentle or you will just straight up crack the whole thing. And nobody wants that because this stuff isn't really cheap. For a 44 by 36, I think, sheet was $49. So you want to just get it snugged. I'm bleeding. So you want to get this thing snugged up. Get this thing snugged up tight. I'll actually do another one right down here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the marker along the inside and trace around where I want the paint, which when I go to do that, I'm actually going to have to take off the Oh man, I'm bleeding. That's gross. I'm gonna have to take off the film. So you want to make sure that this is all nice and tight, so you don't want it to bubble. Because if you start bubbling it in sections, then that's how it's gonna crack. So you want to make sure that you get this thing. When I talk about cracking, it just cracked. That's unfortunate. So what I've been told you can do is you can take a very, very small drill bit and put a little hole on the end of the crack, and that'll help it from the crack not expanding. And I know now the reason why I'm bleeding is because my finger got caught inside of this here and here. So that feels real good. Ain't nothing gonna make me stop, I guess. Not yet, at least. So I wonder if it's gonna crack more when I go. Wow, how did that happen? Why is it so off? There's no way that it was like that. That's way off. How did that happen? It didn't move, it's screwed in. This hole is like nowhere near. Oh, I'm dumb. It's because I had the. Oh, son of a biscuit. See? Quick how-to video turns into a how don't do. How to not do it. And I lost my drill bit. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I drilled it out, and there was a gap like this. So I'm stupid. Now I gotta drill another hole. That was what I was saying earlier. If you have to drill another hole, it's not really gonna make a big difference because it's all gonna be covered up. I would just have rather obviously not made a second hole, but it just sounds bad. It's really not. Okay, so also what you can do is once you get it up in there like this, you can actually figure out where you need to trim if you have to do any trimming, which I actually cut the top of this kind of low, so it's not really, this side ain't really gonna look that good. The other side was the first side that I did, and it looks pretty decent. So what you can do too is you can go through and kind of mark where you want to do some more trimming before you actually mount this thing. So what I need to do now is figure out somewhere. I want to leave the outside plastic on, but I want to take this back plastic off. If I can find a good spot. I should have peeled it a little bit before. So you want to peel this off because you're going to be marking where you want your paint line to be. And obviously if you take your plastic off, you'll be able to see, because once you go to start cutting this plastic, it's going to just melt, and then you're not going to be able to get a good not gonna be able to get a good reading, I guess. You know, I'll be able to get a good. Man, that's gross. That got me really good. All right, so what I'll do is I'll go in like so, and I'll just do a little line like this. Boom. Like that, and then you'll go from the the back. I can't see, too short. There we go. Now in that location right there where it dips down, I'm going to be just making it straight. I have a straight edge that I'm going to set there to make it straight. I'm not going to put that little divot of paint in there. That'd be kind of funny. But now that all that is marked, you can go ahead and pull this back out. And we'll go cut it out. All right, so now that we've got this sitting here, I'm gonna go ahead and this is the back side. So what you want to do is you want to tape off all of this inside part here and pull off the access tape, adhesive, whatever it is. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna take the oscillator and kind of go over this edge here because it is very long. So I'm gonna do that. Okay. So then what I like to do is go through and just pick the edge of that and then take the grinder. Just go up and down it real slow. You don't want to go into it to where you're creating waves in the Lexan, but just kind of go over to help smooth it out and kind of shape it a little bit. It does not take much. See that? Rounded that edge really well. Come through here, break all this out. And you go to this side, see how this is kind of like a sharper edge? Right there, I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through here. And that's it. That is literally all there is to it. So this is the outside. We're going to flip it over on the inside. Now, I said something about putting a straight edge on here. Well, I'm going to just eyeball it. Eyeball this little section here. I'm no artist, but let's go ahead and start putting tape over the center so that we can paint it. I was gonna dramatically pull that like that, but that didn't work. And okay, so what we're gonna do, take a fairly decently long piece. I want to do that.
Now this part is kind of self-explanatory. You really just have to line up the tape around the edges and then cover the full center section what you do not want painted, and then scuff it up or add heat like I did to it, and then lay your paint down and let it dry.
so as you guys just saw, we got this thing fully cut up. We got it kind of trimmed down the edges where it kind of is going to look happy around the corners of the window frame. So it's taped up. I'm going to just apply a little bit of heat to it. I'm not going to scuff it up. I'd rather just put some heat on it. I don't want to try and, I'm afraid of it getting scratched with, I don't really know how much like coarse of a sandpaper or anything to put on this stuff without it scratching or even making a difference. So I'm going to just put a little bit of heat to it, and then I'm going ahead and just put some black paint around this outer edge here. So let's get all the materials out and ready to get this thing painted. So we're going to hit it with the heat gun. I do not want to melt the plastic on the other side, which most likely am going to do, but I want to just get a little bit of heat on it just to get it a little bit warmer than the temperature out in the shop. And then I'm just going to apply a few coats of black paint. And now this is the inside of the window, because I don't obviously want the paint stuff on the outside. So I left the plastic on the outside so that once I get it mounted up, I can just go ahead and peel that plastic off. Oh, it's pretty warm. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of paint on here. I'm gonna do a real light coat at first. Just so it can kind of bond. Just like that. Now when I did that one, I did like two decent coats, and then when it was dry, I picked it up and I could still kind of see through the black paint. So it's going to need a couple coats, which painting around the inside of here on this part here definitely helps. Now that just makes it like 100% dark. You obviously can't see through that. So that is how those go in. While that one is drying, I think I'm going to go ahead and very carefully try and add a couple more screws to this side. Now, if this cracks and breaks, I'm SOL. So, wish me luck on that. I'm going to do that real quick while this dries, and then I'll go ahead and throw another couple coats on it, and then whenever it's ready to be installed, I'll come back to you. All right, so went ahead and peeled all the blue tape off of here. Oh, what am I doing? That is ass backwards. Went ahead and pulled the blue tape, so I'm going to go ahead and get this guy up here where I need it. Looks like this back one's going to go in first. Now, doing this, just like I did the other side, you want to be very, very, very gentle with it at first, just so you do not crack your plastic. Put it on there snug. I'll have to pick those up later. And then you want to make sure that this one here is all the way down before you pull that, because I'm going to end up going through and adding more to this, but just for time's sake, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel this wrap off. this is the satisfying part. Now, I could have done that before I put all those in, which I didn't want the whole thing to flex around and move. You see how there's still some... Guess I could have went through and did that a little bit better as well. Or I can hit it with some paint. But overall, Lexan windows installed. So these are just the little flare pieces. I didn't do it. Like, you know, when you cut it, it leaves that film or that like heat mark or whatever, the heat. It makes it hot and it melts it. So this just melted. It literally just chips off. Just like so. So I should go around and I'll add a couple more screws on this side, just like I did the other side. And this thing will be all done. And I will have Lexan on the rear windows. Maybe the next episode on when it comes to the actual car and nothing with the drivetrain, I'll be doing the front door windows as well. I don't know if I'm going to do the hatch glass or not, just because from what I've seen, you have to put little like pop clips or whatever right here on the glass. I really don't know if I want to do that. I would think I'd rather just run the rear glass. Just like to save a little bit of weight here and to eliminate as much glass as I can, because if you know, God forbid, if I crash this thing, I don't want them to be picking up all kinds of glass off the track, and I don't want to get smoked with glass from the inside. But minus the windshield, that will stay glass, but I'm really indecisive on the hatch yet. So let me know down in the comments if you guys think I should do the rear hatch in Lexan as well, or if I should just roll with just the quarter glass and the doors. So that is a quick little how not to do your Lexan windows. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.